What current event or issue do you feel deserves more attention?
Good question. So I'm a massive housing nerd, but housing recently has got, we had the renters reform bill, we had the big announcement about building 1.5 million homes, all of it's really exciting. So we've had quite a lot on housing. Usually we went through like this period where no one wanted to talk about housing, and I would argue that actually having people live in a safe, sustainable, affordable home leads to better life outcomes and impacts like all areas of your life, whether it's kind of health and well-being, your education, your employment, your sense of belonging and civic engagement. All of it's got to do with living in a home, and a home that is affordable and safe and secure. So I would naturally say housing, but I feel like I'm cheating there because we are saying quite a bit on housing.
Well, it's not cheating because it's an issue that you care about. It's something that matters to you. But what would you sort of do differently in terms of housing?
Would I do differently, or what should the government do differently?
Yeah, well,
All of
what
it,
do you,
all of
what do
the
you,
above, all of the above.
yeah, all of the above.
So I think the government, what we're saying in housing is really exciting. And like I said before, we've had decades where governments don't talk about housing, or it hasn't, in my opinion, it hasn't had the attention that I think it deserves. So I'm really excited to be part of this new Labour government that is actually saying, no, we are actually in a housing crisis and we're going to try and do something about it. We know it's going to be tough and we know it's going to be challenging, but we just need to crack on, and holding people to account and bringing partners in that traditionally we probably haven't before as a government. So I'm really excited by that. I get really nerdy over housing design because I genuinely think you can build out a lot of social problems. So, I think it's madness that we're building homes at the moment that you're going to have to retrofit within 5 years' time. Like, just completely blows my mind. So, build homes that are more energy efficient. I think we should definitely use more modern methods of construction because at the moment we build homes like the Egyptians built pyramids brick by brick, and actually there's a brave new world out there and it's kind of building parts of homes in a factory and bringing it together, which kind of makes it more energy efficient, increases the speed of it, and you can probably get homes in places that traditionally might be a bit challenging for construction workers. Like things like mental health, there's loads of research that's been done around building homes that kind of help with mental health. So really basic stuff like minimum space standards, more kind of sunlight and windows, all of that will benefit. You can build developments, and especially like council house estates, for example, where at the moment you just have these like concrete blocks, but there's no reason why you can't build homes which all the kitchen windows look over a family park where kids can play, so that mum and dad, when they're in the kitchen, either preparing dinner or going back their business, they can look out their window and double check that their kid is safe. Like, I just think housing design is the future. I bet you regret asking me that. I do get very nerdy over it.
I don't regret asking because it's good, like, to see people passionate about causes that they're championing, as opposed to just doing something because their party supports that, so they're going to support that just to kind of stay in with them, if that makes sense. Like, it's good that you actually support this.
I love it. Love a bit of housing.
What has been the biggest learning moment in your career, and how has it shaped you?
A learning moment. Not just as an MP, just throughout.
Just overall.
I touched on it earlier, but when I first got elected, like almost everybody, I felt as though I needed to be a certain person. You look at politicians or you hear politicians and you feel inspired by politicians and you just think, that's what I need to aim for, that's what I need to be like. And it didn't happen overnight and I'm probably still learning, but this idea where you're completely comfortable in your own skin as an elected representative, you know why you're there, and primarily, the only reason we're here is to make the lives of those that brought us here better off. And remembering that and just owning who you are and just do the best you can. So I think that transition has probably kind of really, really shaped me, and probably, yeah, like I said earlier, like really helped me in good stead. And that does come with, I mean, it can come with hostility. There will be people that really don't like you. There will be people that don't mind you. There'll be people that really, really love you. And just remembering to keep on going. I mean, by the nature of the way I look, I will receive a lot of hate. The amount of misogyny and sexism and you name it, I've had it, particularly in local government, and it's insane on social media where suddenly you get like 2 letters at the end of your name, and that suddenly makes you subhuman and gives people, for whatever reason, a mandate to completely like throw loads and loads of hate at you. And I think it's just, it's the whole point is to remember why you're there and why you're doing it. And I don't want, I know so many colleagues and, you know, women in particular that have left politics because it just got a bit too much. But actually, the more we do it, I just think hopefully it will break barriers, and it will mean that other brown girls growing up in kind of working class communities like mine feel as though they can do it too.
I mean, you're a very brave person, honestly.
Well, I talk about abuse, but I know so many colleagues that have had kind of the most horrific, been in the most horrific experiences. And while I've had a few death threats, it's nothing compared to what others have. But I do think it's really important to keep going, because you can't let the haters win.
Well, to finish up on a bit of a lighter note, if you could spend a day anywhere, where would it be and why?
Ooh, like literally anywhere.
Literally
like
anywhere.
Mars or something. No, I wouldn't spend it on Mars. That might be a bit boring. Where would I go? So obviously this role is all consuming. So I was trying to think of something leisurely, like what I would do if I actually had time to do it. And because I'm like obsessed with people, I love people. Either somewhere where I could really people watch. I love people. Do you like people watching? I love a good people
I like
watch.
an airport or a train station, not just for like the sake of it. Like when you're really bored and have nothing to do, then yeah. But
Like a good people watch. Trafalgar Square actually is a good place to people watch, I've noticed. But no, my downtime is spending time with, that sounds so boring, spending time with family and friends. I just think you're always going to have people that take your energy and people that feed your energy. And I love spending my downtime with feeders, and my parents, my nieces and nephews, my amazing husband, all of them are the most incredible feeders. So yeah, that's where I head. And any green space, I'm obsessed with green spaces, and we've got Southampton Common, which is bigger than Hyde Park in London. So it's great. So anyone around Southampton, go to Southampton Common. It's incredible. But yeah, I fell in love with our green spaces during the pandemic, actually, because it kind of forces you out. And I always knew they were there, but really valuing them, I truly, truly do. And me and my husband, Ben, whenever we get a chance, almost on a daily basis, obviously not while I'm up here, we try and go for a walk around the common, and we've got the New Forest close by as well. But yeah,
that's nice.
family,
Yeah.
friends, and green spaces is my jam.
Well, thank you so much for coming onto the podcast. It's been amazing to speak with you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I feel honoured. I'm pleased to make your hit list.
Listeners, join me next time on Women in Westminster when I'll be speaking with Charlotte Kane.